The Jacksonville Jaguars revealed their throwback jerseys for this upcoming year. It's kind of crazy how their throwback jersey is a jersey I feel like they were wearing maybe like 12, 14 years ago. Maybe a little bit more than that, but just kind of crazy. But at the same time, it does make sense considering that they first started in the NFL, I believe, in 95 or 96 when the NFL had an expansion draft that year along with the Carolina Panthers. But yeah, man, New Jerseys look fine. They look good. And I think the Jags should go back to their old, earlier 2000s kind of logo and jerseys. I don't know if it's just me, but the old Jags logo looks a lot better than their current one. I just feel like it has more style and more character. But regardless, New Jerseys look clean. And let me know what y'all think about them. Do you think the Jags should go back to their old 2000s jerseys, or do you like their jerseys right now? Let me know in the comments. The Jags are actually a pretty interesting NFL team and franchise, if I really think about it. I don't think I've ever met a Jacksonville Jaguar fan. Granted, I don't live in Florida. Obviously, if I lived there, I'm sure I would meet a dozen. More than that, hopefully. But is that just me, or are Jaguars fans just really rare? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. But other Jaguars news, the city of Jacksonville approved on an agreement to build a $1.4 billion stadium. So if you are a Jags fan, that's definitely good news. There was serious talks in the last 2-3 years of the Jags potentially moving to London, England permanently. Obviously, the Jags have played in London every single season for, I don't know, like the past 8. It's been a while. They play there every year. Really their second home. But yeah, if you're a Jags fan and you live in Jacksonville, it's got to be a huge relief. And as far as their current stadium, it's been around for a while, so they're definitely due for an upgrade. The renderings look pretty decent. And the construction is set to take place after the 2025 year. So supposedly in the 2026 year, they could potentially play in a reduced capacity in Orlando or in some other place in Florida. That's just what I read on an article. Obviously, none of that is confirmed as of right now, but it's looking that way. And I just want to talk about new stadiums for a second. I really want to see future NFL stadiums not be domed up and not be... I just don't want them to be replicants of Atlanta's and LA's stadium, because I think a few months ago I saw renderings for the Bears' new potential stadium, and it was a dome. And that's just crazy to me. That's sickening. That's just gross. Like, you can't play in Chicago. You can't play in the windy city and play inside. Like, I don't care what you got to do, but do not make Chicago's new stadium a dome, please. Please, please, please. And I just hope NFL teams, if they are going to build new stadiums, just switch it up a little bit. You know, the fancy, crazy stadiums like Atlanta, Minnesota, etc. are great. They're cool, but we need more outdoor stadiums. We need more outdoor stadiums, especially in Chicago. So please, Chicago, mayor, everyone involved, do not make it a dome. Do you guys agree with that? Do you not agree with that? Do you care? Let me know in the comments. But back to the Jags, some unfortunate news to really kick off training camp. The newly signed defensive end Arik Armstead was just placed on the PUP list. So I guess the 49ers definitely saw the wear on his tires and just cut bait with him, and that's not really a good sign considering it's his first year in Jacksonville, and to start training camp on his new team, he's already on the physically unable to perform list, so kind of choppy, kind of rough start. He's still recovering from an off-season knee surgery, and it's looking like obviously he will miss potentially the first couple of weeks. I hope he gets back out there, man. Him and Josh Allen, I feel like, could definitely do something on that defense. And as far as the Jaguars in this upcoming year, huge year. I've talked about this before when I've made other Trevor Lawrence contract videos, but to me, this is a make or break year for them. Like, this is a huge year for that franchise, because if they have another off year, like, I know they paid Trevor Lawrence, and I've already been adamant about it. Like, that's a huge mistake. Trevor Lawrence has looked pretty average so far as a number 1 overall draft pick, but whatever, it's done. But still, like, we don't know what Trevor Lawrence is yet. Like, what if he has another, like, decent to not great year? And what if the Jags as a whole kind of underperform or choke again? Then I'd say Doug Peterson's job is in serious jeopardy. And that sucks because Doug Peterson is a legend. He's a gutsy, ballsy coach, and I love that. And I know a lot of people do too, but I don't know. It just, last year was super disappointing. Started off really, really strong and then just faltered hard. That division was just theirs for the taking, and they just choked. They just choked that second half of the year. But I really don't know how they're going to be this year. I'm just hoping for the best. I think Trevor Lawrence is a decent dude. I just haven't seen a lot from him so far. And I know, like, maybe he needs more weapons, maybe this, maybe that, but I don't know. When you're getting that big of a bag, you kind of got to make it happen with what you got. Like, if you really wanted to add pieces, add weapons around you, you wouldn't take one of the richest contracts in NFL history, but who's to say, really? Either way, good for him, good for his family, good for his agent. But let me know how good y'all think the Jaguars are going to be this year. Do you think they could get back to the playoffs? Do you think they could possibly win the AFC South? It's just Houston just looks legit. And I know they only had one good year, but that year looked really, really good last year. You know, CJ Stroud looks like he could be around for a long time. Colts are intriguing as well. Anthony Richardson, big question mark. And then you got the Titans, my, like, dark horse team, my, like, Cinderella team for this upcoming year. Will Levis, really excited to see that dude play sophomore year, but what I'm trying to say is it's a competitive division, and I just don't know if the Jaguars could really outlast all those teams. But let me know in the comments what you think. That's all I got for right now. Peace.